And good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5-minute Morning Miner. It's Thursday, 23rd of February. Good morning, Paul. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. We just closed last night substantial fundraising for Infinity Energy Systems, which will be very good news for the flow battery industry and the vanadium flow battery industry. Good news for vanadium. Everyone's going to get excited about it. We've done a £16 million placing, which will grow actually before we actually close the ABB. There's a £4 million open offer, and we brought in a strategic Taiwanese company, Everbright, for a £2.5 million subscription. So that gives them lots of money to go through to commercial release date with Siemens Gamesa, and then the sales will come in the billions. Very exciting. Anyway, we're here for mining, not for flow batteries. Anglo-American was the big one. The results there, Paul, are pretty similar to sort of Rio and Antofagasta, etc. The story is all the same, basically. That profits are well down on last year, which was super normal profits, and they are getting hit by energy costs and inflation and slightly slower Chinese demand. I mean, it sort of sums up all of them in general, doesn't it?
It sure does. I would say it's yet another sequel, essentially, of performance results on a year-on-year basis for Anglo-American in comparison with Rio Tinto and BHP and so forth and so on. And as you say, it's about lower revenues based on lower primary product prices that they sell. Anglo-American also selling in the iron ore space as well as copper, just like BHP and Rio. So necessarily then they would have a very similar patterns as far as their changes are concerned here. Total dividend and buybacks per share, they had reduced also by 60% at Anglo-American to 198 billion. So final dividend for the year reduced by 37% to 74 cents. Again, it's following this. It's interesting to see too that managements are following more or less the same actions too. The boards are acting very similar in these regards as far as their distribution of cash flows and where their outlook lies, that sort of thing.
I could always be an analyst. I did that in a couple of lines, Paul.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not about to become one. Right, there's not much news actually out on UK junior mining. It's mainly overseas. But what would you like to discuss on the overseas ones?
On the overseas statements here, we've got a London private equity group, Appian, is taking a move to acquire control of TSX-listed Osisko Metals Pine Point lead zinc VMS project in the far north of Canada. Appian commits to Canadian $100 million over a 4-year period to acquire a 60% interest in the Pine Point mining subsidiary of Osisko. Pine Point being a large historic production project in far north of Canada, and Osisko has been essentially drilling quite a lot up there in order to revitalize the mine for a restart. And obviously Appian is rather bullish then on lead and zinc, and also on the opportunity or the likelihood that they have something significant to restart on here at Pine Point. So it's yet another deal in the M&A space.
And that's what we love. We love a bit of M&A. Okay, let's keep going, Paul, with some of your TSX things.
Yes, we've got updated resource estimate here out from the Chesapeake Gold, the Mexico sulfide gold project at Metates. New estimate now at 16.7 million ounces at half a gram per ton, and 423 million ounces of silver at not quite or at half a ounce per ton in silver for a total volume of just shy of 1 billion tons in the measured and indicated. Because it is measured and indicated, therefore it does fit into mine planning feasibility study eligibility for that size of resource, as well as because the breccia zone at Chesapeake is the one which was the primary focus. It also has indications that it will be the better grade material in order to start the mine project on. Now, Metates is intended to be a sulfide leach project, which is not that common in the gold space, but is more common in the copper space these days. So keep a good eye on that one as far as technology, because it is a greener way of producing low-grade gold and copper.
There you go. Very good. Anything else?
Yes, London quoted Anglo-Asian Mining, which is the copper gold producer in Azerbaijan, put out pretty bullish production guidance statement for this year. They expect to produce about 50 to 54,000 ounces of gold equivalent, of which about somewhere in the range of 4,200 tons of that will be copper, and 30 to 32,000 ounces of gold. That means the copper production should increase by about 63 to 71%, but gold production would fall by a little less than a third. So how the prices in 2023 between copper and gold play out would therefore give us an outlook on what we expect Anglo-Asian to earn. At the current time, gold prices are better than copper prices. So we'll see whether or not the shift to a higher copper portion of Anglo-Asian's revenues will be beneficial for them this year.
Fair enough. Let's call it a day there, Paul, and we can speak again tomorrow.
Very good. See you then.